everybody. Welcome to our next Shoot the Shit Saturday. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Valkyrie Grinder. And tonight, joining me are the Dukes, Ringleader 064.
Hi.
Espionage DB7.
Back by popular demand.
And the mighty Obsolete 2003.
Yo.
And how is everybody doing this evening?
Doing good. It's almost the weekend.
Almost.
This will be the weekend.
So close.
Working for the weekend.
Yes.
We're working for the weekend.
I look fantastic in nothing but a neck thing. I look fantastic in nothing but a neck.
Well, that's some off-putting stuff you just said.
Yeah.
So, what's new, everybody? Any good news?
Well,
any changes?
Actually, I'd like to start us off just by saying a little something. Sorry that I have been neglectful of the channel. It's not by choice. I've noticed that things have kind of fallen into disarray. I've seen that we've lost some subs, due to inactivity and all that. But you know what? We'll get them back, and they weren't true odds and enders to begin with. I have had nothing but this faith that this channel, that this small little tight-knit group will be the next big thing on the internet at some point. And I have no doubt about it. And I still feel that way. Because that's just the way it is. It's going to happen. But Lord knows I've been through a bit of a roller coaster these past few weeks and months that have prevented me from being on. I spent a few weeks in the hospital with my mother. Didn't know she was gonna pull through. She did, thank God. But it's, like I said, it's been rough. And I do want to give a quick shout out to the guy here right now who's, even though I make fun of him a lot, he is truly my brother, and he's always been there for me, and he's helped me out through this trying time and others. So Obs, my friend, my brother, I appreciate all the help, and thank you for always being there. And folks, everybody out there in internet land, I'm sorry I haven't been more around. I will try to be back. I have series that I want to continue. I want to do my what was I calling it? My impassioned playthroughs of Black Mesa. I want to continue Half-Life Alyx. I want to continue my playthrough of Mass Effect. I plan to. I have more review videos, top 10s, and all that. It's been very difficult. So I'm sorry I haven't been myself, but I'll try to bring back the old Esp at some point.
It's all good. Just happy to have you back. I'm glad everything's going better.
Yes.
So
And I missed y'all. I have. It's a little bit weird, like this whole break, but it's understandable why we're having this little break, because we have life issues. But seriously, I missed you guys.
Miss you too. It's a little break, much needed break, but we're getting things back on track little by little. I know Nick's should be en route hopefully soon, so you should pop in here soon too. But yeah, we'll get the band back together soon enough.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on this here. I was told to wait until a specific time.
About the OLED, right?
No.
Well, I think we should talk about the OLED first to set up the conversation for what you're going to talk about.
Okay.
So because I actually do want to bring up something about the OLED. Obs, have you heard about this? The OLED?
The OLED edition switch. It's basically an up powered switch in certain ways, but not so much in other ways.
So basically, the internet itself got itself into a frenzy over a supposed Nintendo Switch Pro, which is something that Nintendo themselves never announced. They never said that they were gonna do it. They never said it was coming. They never said anything like that. But there was things being pumped out through the rumor mill. Things
Unfounded rumors.
exactly. People were saying, "Oh man, there's going to be a 4K Nintendo Switch with near PS5 capabilities and this, that, and the other, and we can't wait and this and that." And then Nintendo finally announced what they were coming out with, and all it is what they call the Nintendo Switch OLED, and the Switch OLED is just a minor upgraded Switch. It has a slightly bigger screen, which the model itself isn't bigger. It just the screen extends further out to the edges. The dock now has a wired like landline connection. It has a bigger base, an adjustable base, so you can adjust it. And there was one other thing. What was the other thing? Do you remember, Ring? I think there were like 4 updates. The wider screen, adjustable base, the LAN thing.
It's also OLED, so that's entirely
Oh, that's right. The organic LED screen.
Right.
Supposed to be more vibrant or some shit like that. So basically that's all. And people were like, the internet got pissed off from what I heard.
Okay.
That
I'm gonna go over some of the key points here.
okay.
First off, it's a bigger 7-inch OLED screen. More vivid screen, colors, contrast, strips. I have used all displays before. They're usually very nice. Like you said, a wide adjustable stand, which means it has a better kickstand than the current one, which is only just a little prop on the back of the Switch. It's also adjustable, so you can lay it back more, or push up, or meet up more. A wired LAN port, which is a good thing, by the way.
Yeah, because if you have it there's right now it only has Wi-Fi.
Right. 64 GB internal storage, typical. Enhanced audio, which it is what it is, right? It also, of course, comes with TV mode, tabletop mode, and handheld mode. I'm just reading off the Nintendo website. Sue me. The Joy-Cons may have been improved somewhat. I'm not sure if there's a different, if they're different from the base Joy-Cons. But those are the major changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and well, basically people were like disappointed. One thing I will say is that I'm surprised, but I guess maybe they just couldn't fit it in to there. But I am surprised that this still does not have Bluetooth technology. I feel like that should be something fairly easy and pretty much universally wanted to implement, but it still doesn't have that. So it's only worth buying if you don't have a Switch, essentially. There's no major changes. But from what I understand, like people were like pissed off at Nintendo and like fuck you Nintendo and this and that. But the thing is that they never said they were coming out with any like big badass model. Like Nintendo themselves didn't say, "Hey, wait for it. We got something big on the horizon or something."
No,
As a matter of
it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like it was
exactly. When they announced it quietly with a video that was uploaded to their YouTube channel on a Tuesday night or something. It was like not even they themselves didn't make any hype about it. But like people were fast. They grew themselves into a frenzy. I remember seeing all these concept images of what they thought the Nintendo Pro was gonna be with like badass handles and shit. And now leading into what Ring wanted to say about it, I think it basically paved the way for what Valve decided to do, saying, "Oh, well, you want a Nintendo Pro? Here's the Steam Deck. Go ahead and take it away, Ring. I know you."
Way to steal my thunder. So today it was announced by Valve that they're redeveloping and actually are soon to be releasing the Steam Deck. This thing is basically a mobile PC in your hand. It has the capability to play almost most games that are currently in the Steam library. It will come in 3 variants: the 64 GB eMMC, which is a type of storage, a 256 GB NVMe SSD, and a 512 version. The base version will cost $300 or $399.
$399.
Right, that's one is $529, and the most expensive one is $649. The most expensive one will come with the fast storage, premium glared edge glass, premium carrying case, exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle, and a virtual thumb keyboard theme, which I guess is kind of cool. Now, here's the thing about this whole thing. It has actually an AMD chip, what's called the Zen 2, which will help power the entire thing, so it can play pretty much most, if not all, games that are currently on Steam. Your Steam
Actually, from
anywhere.
what I understand, it will sync with your computer, and you can pretty much play your entire Steam library
I
on.
was dating to that. It was literally my next topic.
Okay.
The Steam library, which, as said, we can play everywhere.
Yes.
Whatever.
If you want to see this thing while we're talking about it, I just linked it in the Hangout so you can have a look if you haven't seen it yet.
It does have something similar to the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo. So that's pretty cool. There's dock 2, so it can help charge USB peripherals, stuff like that.
The dock is extra.
Yeah. Now let me just roll off the features here of this thing here, okay? All right, so it comes with a custom AMD APU2, right? The processor. The CPU is a 4-core 8-thread Zen 2. It comes with the GPU, the 8 RDNA 2 compute units, and 16 gigabytes of LPDDRs, which I guess is a neat type of RAM. Has a 7-inch LCD screen, much like the Nintendo Switch. In a 1280 by 800 resolution and a 60 hertz refresh rate, so that's pretty neat. Built into the system, the controls are, so it's not like the Switch where it's detachable. It's one big unit. Parallel thumbsticks, 2 mouse-like trackpads, which is cool. 4 rear buttons on the back, not pads though. And traditional controllers being used via Bluetooth or USB-C. So this one does have Bluetooth, unlike the Switch. I really went over the storage and stuff like that. As for the battery life, this is a big one for lots of people. 40 WHR battery, 2 to 8 hours, depending on what you're doing.
Oh, man.
For example, you can play Portal 2 for 4 hours at 60 frames per second, so that's not bad. But it drops down to 30 frames per second and it's 5 to 6 hours. So the more computing power you want to put into a game, the more it's going to kill the battery faster.
Yeah.
Expected. As USB-C expansion bay, can push output to a bigger display via any USB-C hub, right? Official dock is being made and sold separately. External display support up to 8K at 60 Hz or 4K at 120 Hz. So it's basically a console.
Man.
The operating system runs Steam OS. It's built on Proton, which is a version of Linux. Now, this actually is a good news for a lot of people out there because there are some games that don't run on Linux. Rainbow Six being one of them. And since the Steam has been modulated to run those games on Linux, this also means those games could also run on Linux now as well. It's by essentially a handheld PC and supports traditional game mods, just like a traditional PC as well. Now, I've heard some detractors, including those who are among us right now, saying that this is just a bunch of hoo-ha or whatever. It's like, why is this being released? Now, you have to remember though, this device comes out at a time when building a gaming PC is almost an impossibility due to price point. Val knows this because I've discussed it with her multiple times, right? Given the microchip shortages and stuff like that.
Mhm.
This thing here gives you a device that you can take on the go and as well as plug it in that gives you the ability to play computer games without a problem. That's huge, especially for those who do not have the money nor the space for a gaming PC like the rest of us here. I see this as a win-win. Now, most of us here don't have a particular use for it because we have what we need already to do so, unless we want to take our Steam gaming on the go. But for those who do not have that advantage, I see it as a very extremely viable option. I had discussions with several people today who actually were interested in games that are on Steam because they knew that this device was coming out soon, so it enabled them to have a new broadened horizon to explore. I would say to go as far as this actually may be superior to PlayStation 5 as well as the Switch as well and Xbox, because the fact is the Steam library is fucking huge. And most games that are found on those consoles, with the exception of Nintendo, those games are found on other platforms as well, including Steam. So
in the words of Professor Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes' Game of Shadows, allow me to reply. So here is why I think that this console is not such a great idea. I'm not saying it's not a great console. Everything about it seems very cool. If I could have one, I would not turn it down. Hell yeah, being able to take my Steam library anywhere with that kind of processing power, that's great. But I don't think it's destined to do well because of the price. I think the price tag honestly is going to be a bigger factor than people think. And I'm referencing, or I've arrived at this conclusion because of history. There are two consoles that I can think of that are probably a footnote in gaming history. A lot of people have not even heard of them despite them being badass. And the two consoles would be the Sega Nomad and the NEC TurboGrafx Express.
I played that one.
Yes. Now, these are excellent consoles. I have played a Nomad, never owned one, but I've never touched the TurboGrafx Express, and I would love to, because I actually owned a TurboGrafx. TurboGrafx was one of the 16-bit consoles that kind of got bumped out of the 16-bit console wars between Sega and Nintendo. But the TurboGrafx itself is an awesome game console. They actually made a handheld version that would take the cartridges, or in this case, they were like little cards. It would take the cards that the TurboGrafx itself took, and you could take them with you on the go. The thing is that the console itself was rather expensive. Same thing with the Sega Nomad. The Sega Nomad blows the Game Gear out of the water because the Sega Nomad didn't have games that were specially made for it. It was a handheld Sega Genesis. You would plug in Sega Genesis cartridges and you would take it with you on the go. I mean, how badass is that? But again, and I'd have to research it. Don't feel like doing it right now, but the price tag was one of the major reasons that this thing failed, because of the fact that it was too expensive. I just feel like when people, because I, for one, being one of them, now I don't have a lot of exposable income, but I've made purchases in the past, and I've bought things in the past. But honestly, I don't think I'll ever own one of these because it's not something that I would ever invest in. Now, Valve makes quality hardware. The Valve Index is, from what I've heard, one of the best VR headsets there is. However,
And it does sell. I mean, it's
but
on the Steam website for a reason.
It's not the best-selling one, and why is that? Because on average it costs between $800 to $1,000. $800 to $1,000. It's one of the more expensive ones when there are cheaper alternatives out there. So I just feel same thing with their controller. I mean, I think Valve makes good products and good hardware, but I don't think they're going to be a viable substitution or competitor to what's already on the market, such as the Nintendo Switch. Another thing is I do think it looks a little too bulky, and I feel like it's probably fucking heavy. It looks fucking heavy. It looks like it's got a lot of processing power, which probably, converts into weight. It does have those little track pads. I'm not a fan of the button configuration, the way it has the A, B, X, Y right next to instead of below the Joy-Cons, but whatever. I mean, it does have those additional buttons on the back, but I feel like it's too bulky. The fact that it doesn't have the way that the Switch the Joy-Cons can be removed and give you a more suitable two-player experience, I think that's still a big boon for the Switch that unfortunately the deck doesn't have. I'm not saying it's not a bad console. I'm not saying it's a bad console. I think it will sell within a certain demographic, which is probably their target demographic, being people with a lot of disposable. Maybe not a lot of disposable content, but a suitable amount of disposable content. Where am I getting content? Disposable currency. But I think that most people are going to still focus on, if they have to choose between a Steam Deck or like a PS5, I think they'll go with a PS5. Or if they have to choose between a Steam Deck and a Nintendo Switch, I think they'll go with a Nintendo Switch. If they have to choose between a Steam Deck and a gaming computer, I think they'll go with a Steam Deck. Just like you said, it'll save that kind of money. But I think it's too much of a niche market.
I think you're looking at this the wrong way, because you're thinking of this as a gaming console that is meant to be this gaming console. When the fact is, the library itself is the main competitive factor. There are a lot of games on Steam that are not on PlayStation. There are also a lot of games that are on PlayStation that are also on Steam as well. Because exclusivity kind of just died out with this current generation, as far as I'm concerned, except for Nintendo games, as I mentioned before. That being said, this thing is a viable alternative for those, like I said, who cannot afford to build a gaming computer. It's not about because most people who I've conversated with over the internet today have said over and over again that they did not see it as a alternative to a PlayStation. They don't. They see it as a viable means of getting a hold of that Steam library, the main selling point. And that is what will keep this device working in the long run, or at least what should anyways. Because that's the selling point, the Steam library, the games that you cannot get anywhere else, that are only unique to Steam. Also, you can also basically carry these games on the go, where you are, no matter what you do, blah, 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 right? And I do like the trackpads. I do like design. I've seen that heavy looking design before. Switch, and it probably weighs, if not just a little bit more than that, just due to the fact it's a singular modular frame. So on my final assessment of this, I will say this. It will not do well as a competitor against the Xbox and the PlayStation. That's not the point of it. The point of this is allow expanded access to gain more users to use that Steam library to generate the sales and all that stuff on applications that are.
The input that we're lacking here,
Mm-hmm.
Nick, because he does not have a gaming computer,
and this would probably be a viable option for him.
So I would love to hear his opinion on this, because his opinion would be the one, exactly who you say that the target audience is. So I would love to hear what he has to say.
Fair enough. We'll get back to that when he gets on.
We'll have to hope that he hops on either later, or maybe we can.
This thing does it like allow you to like stream or cast like a TV or anything, or is it just strictly to the?
My understanding is that it does have the ability to, at least I think through USB-C, stream to a TV, because it does say it can display up to was it 8K?
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Not only that, but it does. There is a cradle that is almost virtually identical to the Switches that can be purchased as an additional option, which I'm sure you can use like a streaming device like the one we have with the Elgato and whatnot, to be able to stream, because the cradle allows it to connect to a TV, which basically the Elgato, it's like a third party thing. You instead of plugging directly to the TV, you plug into the Elgato and then to the TV. So I'm pretty sure that you can use a similar method. But again, that's another selling point. The cradle is going to be sold separately. We don't know the price of the cradle. The starting price for the basic model is $399, and it just goes up from there. So the price was just my main not even objection, because it's not an objection. They can charge whatever they want. That's the reason I don't think it's going to do very well, but I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I don't have a problem admitting I'm wrong, but that's why I just don't think it's going to do well.
So with the TurboGrafx 16, we're going to touch on that real quick. The reason it failed is not because the price point. It was pointed out that the reason why the TurboGrafx failed to break into the U.S. market is due to the delayed release, because it was a delayed release from what was originally scheduled. On top of that, inferior marketing also doomed the device as well. Even though it has 16 in the name.
Are you talking about the TurboGrafx 16 or the Express, the handheld one?
16.
Okay. Well,
you mentioned 16, so I'm going off of that.
Yeah, well, the TurboGrafx 16 is just a console.
Right.
I was just seeing it because I think it's still at your house, right, Obs? I think.
Well, let me finish the
Yes.
point.
Okay.
The TurboGrafx 16 was marketed as a 16-bit platform, but actually the TurboGrafx 16 was actually an 8-bit, much like the NES. It was not as not as strong as the Sega Genesis. So
Man, I play some games on that thing that fucking blows Sega Genesis out of the water. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but however they squeeze the power out of it, I mean.
But again, poor marketing can doom a device just as much. Does not everyone even remember the fucking Wii U and how so much of a marketing failure that was? That can kill a console just as much as price point.
No, well,
Just saying.
yeah. Well, I mean, I was mainly talking about the portable one, which I heard failed because of the fact that it was so expensive.
Let me do some quick research on that, just
And
to
another thing to keep
verify.
in mind, the 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 current or future gen PS5 and whatever the Xbox is, they you can't get one. They're unless you want to pay ridiculous money through a scalper. So this could possibly
Thing,
fill that void where if you want money to
well,
spend on something, and since the Wii or the Switch, I'm sorry, so the Switch is such a hot commodity right now. This is kind of it's a little bit of both. It's trying to imitate the Switch, and again, yeah, to your point, has the Steam library and all that as well. But then for people who do have the disposable income that can't get the next gen console, and it's like, well, I can get this since it's readily available.
yeah. Well, this thing you have to reserve as well. So
Correct. So
I
it's not
wouldn't
like people
doubt that.
just grab it because this is a device that we sold or directly shipped by Valve themselves, which can be helpful in controlling the flow of devices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Instead of just having whatever, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but again, going back to the debacle of the scalpers and all
I'll be
that
right back.
with Steam and the PS5 and the Xbox, it's like if Steam can try and control that, then that'll eliminate that headache. Because as much as I want a PS5, I still have not been able to get one. So this by
Right.
reserving one, it should be make it that little bit more easier regards to trying to get one.
Correct. And I do like the fact that they're just now selling it because games are starting to slow down in advancement of the processing power they consume.
Mm.
So it makes sense for such a rate to last even longer because most people are interested in both the current games as well as older releases as well.
Yes.
And the hardware itself is enough to keep it powered for several years without having to require any sort of replacement or anything like that. So it seems to be like a well thought out design here. I mean, they've been working on it for some time, like what 5 years, something like that. So it only makes sense to release it now, especially since hardware is hard to come by because of fucking scalpers and shit, or those motherfucking Bitcoin miners. Fuck you. Anyways, yeah, I'm not a fan of cryptocurrency right now. So and I now have people who stay strictly to consoles, and they see this and saying, "Oh, I can play these games with you now. That's awesome. I would get that." And they always say they would get it just because they can now actually get something to play PC games without having to build a PC. It's
Yep.
right there in your hand. You can just go on and go.
Guys.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna have to take off. But before I do, I got a few minutes here. I'd like to hear Val's thoughts on this thing, or on the OLED. If she's
So
still here.
I'm still here. Again, like I just saw what it looked like today. So it's like my first time even talking about it. Again, I feel like it's can't relate to what the Switch. I feel like it looks like I feel like it's very bulky and heavy. It doesn't look comfortable for it being a handheld. I'm really not impressed with it. Maybe just because I feel like it's something similar is already out there, like the Switch. Now, after hearing what you were saying, Ring, if that's the case of what it does, then good. I mean, especially for those who can't afford to get like consoles and only want the PC style gaming, then I guess that's good. Like, but still, like, I guess to each their own. I mean, I know you're very, very pro for the deck or the console, whatever.
The deck.
Yeah. But for me, it's just like even looking at it now, I just feel like it's overpriced. And I'm just not really.
Well,
doesn't
why
really
would
have my
you?
attention.
You already have a PC. You have
Oh,
no
you know-
interest
Well,
in it.
even still, like, even if I didn't have a PC, I mean, I still have my Switch. Like,
Nick's opinion would definitely be like a good one here because he's possibly like like I said, the main target audience for this thing. Like you said, Ring, for somebody who maybe doesn't have a powerful PC but wants that Steam gaming, because that would mean he would be able to play a lot more games with us. In spite of not having a gaming PC.
Right, because
So
he would have access to a library. That's
Yeah.
the main selling points.
I was thinking about one thing because it is a drawback to the Switch, and it's a drawback that I've seen pointed out on many sites. And something that I wish would be a bigger thing is streaming services on this device, because the Switch only has two: YouTube and Hulu.
Yeah.
So now I say this because I took my Switch with me when I was staying in the hospital, and like I watched Hulu and stuff and YouTube on the Switch. I think I sent you all a picture of like, hey, how do you like my setup with the Switch and a little portable fan and all that. But like, if I ever wanted to watch Netflix or HBO Max or any of the other services that I subscribe to, I had to use a phone and a much smaller screen. So I wonder if Steam or Valve will make some kind of partnership with some of these streaming services.
They may not have to. SteamOS has its own built-in browser.
True.
Which means you use the browser to access the website in question, because this is a Linux based OS.
okay,
So
I just want to throw this out real quick before y'all get too much into that. Basically, what I'm going to wrap up here is that I want to see more reviews, like more input on it before I put that much money into getting it. Because I do like the fact that it is pretty much like a mini computer. Like you can't. I don't know. I like how you can play your Steam games, but still, I just want to see if it will be worth the money.
I mean, imagine playing 7 Days to Die wherever you go
that
and not being
doesn't
restricted
mean-
by a console.
But still, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be good. I mean, it's probably gonna have its flaws. It's probably gonna
have its bugs,
issues.
its crashes.
Yeah. I want to see other people's opinions before I drop $500-$600 into it. Because that's my money I'm not going to get back. I want to make sure that it's a good investment, is what I'm trying to say.
Sorry about to your point, like the Stadia that came and went. That was a huge flop.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So the problem with the Stadia is the lack of support for games. There's no library. On top of that, the problem with the Stadia is that it's how it was designed to do the streaming of the games to you. So it's all done on the fly. There's a bunch of detractors to that, but I don't see those detractors in the deck. I really don't. Because, again, the library, it's fucking massive.
We're gonna have to wait. Well, I do have to kind of rush this along because I do have to go. I was just gonna say that, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. I don't want it to fail. I'm not like saying that I want it to fail or like, oh, fuck this thing or anything.
Interrupt real quick. You mentioned that Valve makes good hardware, right?
Yeah.
So there's no reason to believe that this won't be the case either.
Well, I'm not saying it's necessarily gonna fail, but I don't know if it would be a success.
Nick!
Of course,
the man of the hour.
Of course, right when I have to leave.
Nick.
I'll have to hear his recorded response because I do unfortunately have to run now.
Nick.
All right, bye, Esty. Have a good night.
Nick.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, give him a minute.
Nick. No, Nick. Nick. For those who aren't aware, Nick just joined the chat area. Hey, buddy. So, have you heard of the news that came out today?
Of course I did. I'm all about the news. I'm a newsman.
All right, then. Are you familiar with the Steam Deck?
Yeah, of course. It's a Switch Pro.
What is your opinion on it? Because apparently you appear to be the target audience for this device.
Right? It's cheap and it's a computer I can play video games on. I want one.
There we go.
Okay, well, exactly what Ring said, basically.
Yeah, it's made for plebs.
Again, I didn't say I wanted to fail. I don't think it's going to be overtly successful.
No. Oh no, it's not. It's gonna be a Steam controller.
What?
It's gonna be a Steam controller.
Oh yeah.
I can get it for like a sale like a couple years from now.
Yeah, probably.
But it might be kind of cool. I don't know. Looks
Have
kinda
you even
neat.
sold the index on a sale yet? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
Cheaper than the VR?
The index is the VR.
No, I'm good. I'm sorry. I was talking about the deck.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't we all VR?
Anyway, unfortunately, I do have to run, but Nick, tag out.
What?
Or tag
I
me.
just got here.
I know, exactly. You're tagging in. I got to tag out.
I don't even know what you talked about.
Come on,
What
tag.
if we
Just tag
We're
me.
talking about the deck.
We caught the deck in the OLED.
Yeah,
Just tag me.
that's all we got.
All right.
You've been
All right.
tagged.
We're gonna be a hot tag.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
So
Nick's saying I'm out later on.
I moved my hand. That's a betrayal. You just got fucking heel turn.
okay.
Well, I'm out.
So
The doctor's taking me out. Bye.
so what are
Fine.
your opinions of the Switch that you heard so far?
The OLED or the?
The Switch. No, sorry, the deck. Like what
Deck?
is your opinions? Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. It looked neat. I was like, "Whoa, the Switch Pro."
Yeah, pretty much.
But I don't know. It looks neat. It looks like I can plug it into a TV and actually play video games.
Correct.
It looks reasonably priced.
Correct.
I don't know how mobile's going to work. I don't know if the Wi-Fi can handle some of like online gaming, but for what I would play it with, probably be great.
There we go. We probably get this guy a fucking deck at some point.
Neat. Then I can play video games.
How about the OLED? What was your opinions of that?
I think that's neat, but I already have a Switch, so why would I buy that?
There you go. It's neat for those who haven't gotten one, but the people who were holding out for a Nintendo, like a Switch Pro.
No, it is not a Pro.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that one girl for a Switch Pro is like, why did you wait? Just fucking get one. There wasn't even a Pro in the begin with. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
It's nice. Like I said, if you don't have a Switch
Yeah.
and you're like, I want to get into it. Oh, this is nice and newer model. But other than that, it's just if you have a Switch, there's no fucking need to get this thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm fine with my Switch. I have no reason to replace it. It does what I wanted to do,
Yeah, I'm fine
and
with it.
that's all there is to it.
If
I
I
love
was-
my Switches.
If my Switch broke, and like maybe then, but even at that, it has to be
Which
something
is
like that.
fucking, Miss Rockefeller over here.
What? I got my Switch Lite, and then I got my other special Switch. That
Special Switch.
well, I don't want to say it because it's part of the.
Oh, I forgot
unboxing.
about that video that never came out.
That never came out. So.
All right. So what else we got going on here tonight? What else do we have for conversation?
Monster Hunter Stories.
So I heard that was released on Steam as well. So tell me about it.
So yes, it is on Steam. But if you like turn-based games and Monster Hunter, I would definitely get this game.
Isn't this basically Pokemon, but like with Monster Hunter?
I love
Yes,
Pokemon.
I actually I loved Monster Hunter World. I love Monster Hunter Rise, but this by far, for it being my third Monster Hunter, is my favorite. And this is the second turn-based game that I have ever played. The first one. Okay, so I haven't really been big into turn-based games up until recently. Thank you, Pokemon Shield and
I
Sword.
thought you were gonna say
And
Snap.
no, I haven't played much of that, but I need to get back into playing that. But anyways, I find myself playing this like as a relaxation type game too. Like after a long day at work, I'll sit and just play this. I play it with my friend Anna. She's actually the reason why I have this game, because she had asked me one day, hey, are you gonna get it? I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that is, and I've never heard of it until you mentioned it. She's like, oh, it's this and it's turn-based, and she was telling me all sorts of things about it. And then she's like, the demo's out, get the demo, play the demo. I downloaded the demo, didn't play it. And then so I think the Friday after release or so, maybe it's been a week before, like after, I got it, and I'm still trying to beat the, like, it's going towards like the first boss to get out of the tutorial part. I know that doesn't sound like I have progressed a lot, but I've just been grinding a lot in this game, and just checking out like the different monsties you can get.
Monsees.
Yes, there are your rideable companions. So I
Yeah.
have like this Velociraptor monstie. I have this Pumbaa warthog. I think it's I forgot the name of it. And I have a Kuluyaku, and this also this one bird type monster that spits fireballs. But I am
Charizard?
working. No, no, that'd be interesting to have in this type of game. But my little, you can have up to 5 members with you. But right now, I have one of the village people with me to
The cowboy?
no,
Or the Indian?
The cop.
she was to an Indian, so we can go with the Indian on that one. But she rides the Velociraptor type monstie. They're called monsties, and you pretty much go into these monster dens and you can collect eggs. And depending on how rare the egg is, whether it's light or heavy, if you play the game, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Will determine well, I guess I can't say it will determine what kind of monster you have, but it just depends on where you're at in the game. But right now, I came across the Anjaneth, and yeah, I can get an Anjaneth egg and have it as my team. So I'm working on it, and like I said, I play a lot with Death, and I'm really enjoying this game a lot, like a lot, a
Nice.
lot. And I've also been playing Ark, but I've been neglecting Ark to play on my Monster Hunter stories. But yeah, so check it out if you like turn-based games.
What platform did you get it for?
I have it on my Switch.
Cool.
I thought about getting it for PC, but I'm really because this one my Animal Crossing Switch I could play on the TV if I don't want to hold it. But it's just easier for me to play it. Like right now, I'm playing it and I'm
I
at my
saw you
computer.
online.
Yeah. Or when I'm trying to relax before bed, I'll sit there and I'll pretty much sleep with my Switch next to me because I fall asleep playing with it. And I don't lose any progress because it turns off after a while. So, yeah. I love it.
Well, that's awesome.
Have y'all played any good games?
Hobbs?
Well, I beat Resident Evil 8.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was pretty cool. It took some turns I wasn't expecting, but
Oh man.
overall the game was good. Uh, Not gonna give anything away, but just from this um general hearsay, there's already talks of Resident Evil 9, so we'll see how that goes. But I dug the game. I liked it a lot. Um, Once you beat it, it gives you chance to um not like in-game currency. Nothing you have to buy to put money, but basically you have to grind to get, I guess, like in-game credits to like unlock bonus features, little figurines, concept art, stuff like that. Like you had to use this same kind of in-game currency to unlock the Mercenaries game, which
Do
I
they have a
have.
mercenaries mode?
Yeah, there is.
Oh sweet.
So uh I played a little bit that I haven't streamed yet, so kind of wanted to get a feel for it, and it's pretty cool. It's not quite how it was for Resident Evil 3, but
4?
it was 3, and I think 4 might have also
5.
had it. Yeah, it was
I think
5.
5 had it. 5 had it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still pretty cool. It's been a while since I played Mercenaries, and but I'm digging it. And when you beat the game, it does allow you to continue the save, or if it unlocks a harder difficulty, and then you kind of keep your weapons that you had.
You're right.
Um, so that's a pretty cool feature. I didn't know that, so that's just one of those things that depending if I'm gonna play through it again, I might try on a harder difficulty because then uh, you have to unlock it, but like um, certain guns, if you max them out to like uh, max damage, all that stuff with the upgradables, if you max them out, you have the option to purchase like infinite ammo for that weapon.
Ooh.
So something to think about just as a heads up. So, but again, you just gotta do that grind. Probably have to play a
Yeah.
few times to be able to max out said weapons. But um, digging that, or probably try to replay it. I probably won't stream the second playthrough. If I do go through the playthrough, I'll probably do some streaming of the mercenaries. But I was happy with the game overall. It was pretty cool. Um, Supposedly on the same kind of note, there's talks in the rumor mill that since Resident Evil has been such a success with like their remakes in 7, 8, that there's talks that they might remake Dead Space as well, just because they're gonna try and piggyback off of Resident Evil's success. So if they do, that'll be really cool because I like the Dead Space franchise.
I have some news
Yeah.
that just came up just right the fuck now.
Dead Space news
Yeah, the news just came out like right the fuck now. Like I said,
about Dead Space.
no
Oh, that'd be really crazy and cool.
Monster Hunter TV series.
The movie sucked
There's
ass. So
a-
why am I excited about that?
There's an anime on Netflix that we saw. Was it on Netflix or HBO?
That's it. I'm talking about Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am watching a trailer right now. Be right back.
Nice. This is the podcast where we do other things during the podcast.
Yes. So I'm sure he'll come back in with this review of the
Oh yeah.
trailer.
I mean, I'm playing Smash Bros right now, so I'm cool. I'm part of the problem too.
But I dug Resident Evil 8. I'll probably still be playing on and off with the mercenaries and just the other little things. The other game I've been playing with Augie the Froggy is this game called Hellpoint.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a Demon Souls-esque type game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, but it has a lot of vibes from like Prometheus and the Geiger with like some of the terrain because you're basically on some type of like giant space station, but it's kind of like Dead Space with lasers, sort of.
Nice.
So, but that's what I've been playing right now. Trying to think what else. I'm trying to check out Remnant from the Ashes. It seems pretty interesting. It's another kind of multiplayer co-op game.
It's downloaded by. And I know. Anna was working on it too. So I think by the time if you want to play it, everything should be.
You
You should
talking
be able
to
to play
us?
it. I'm talking to Ops. Sorry, Remnant. We're talking about Remnant. He was talking about Remnant, and I was just letting you know we're ready to play with you on that.
Sweet.
Okay. Good. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Wait.
Okay,
Sorry.
so I watched the trailer and holy shit!
Poor Ops.
Terrible. Good.
Oh, looks fucking great. It has Ace Cadet from Monster Hunter World.
Neat.
So there's a hunter who has red hair, who often is seen in the storyline and stuff like that. And I swear to God, that's him. It's that hunter, and I guess this is his origin story, and stuff like that. Or at least part of it is his origin story.
Is
That's
it live action or CGI?
CGI.
Okay, so it might be good.
Here, I linked the trailer in the chat, so you can take a look.
Hmm.
And it does look good. Yeah.
Cool. We'll look forward to Ring's review.
Yeah. So I'm gonna borrow your Netflix account, Val, for that day,
Okay.
August 12th. Just
Make
so
sure
you
you're
know.
watching Nothing on August 12th.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
anyone else play any games right now?
I'm playing Supreme Commander.
Are you
There's no
competitive?
Metroid game coming out.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nick's always looking at it. He's the boss.
What's up?
Huh?
What?
What? I said you're the boss.
Oh. That's the one you used to play, right? Obs?
Which one?
Supreme Commander?
No, it's Total Annihilation.
Oh, okay. I was like, this feels almost right, but it's not quite right.
Who here has Supreme Commander?
I have Supreme Commander.
Maybe we should play sometime.
I have the original one. Fun.
Because I think I have that version of Supreme Commander.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
I can't get past the second level yet. Well, I got past some parts, so I just can't fucking. They keep swarming my base.
Yeah, so you got swarm back. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm trying to swarm back, and then I need air defenses, but I also need some land defenses to build my air defenses. And then the fucking submarines come in, destroy my naval defenses.
Mhm.
What you got on the Switch?
No, I got it on Steam for the. It was on Steam sale for like $3 or $2,
Uh-huh.
and
So
it's
I
an
got-
old enough game where my computer can run it.
Hey. So I've been playing Command Conquer 3 as of late, which is another old game, which is pretty good, just sometimes frustrating. I've also been enjoying the Kerbal Space Program still on occasion. Yay. And just doing my trains on Transport Fever 2 for the last couple hours.
Neat.
Like, I'm just one of those people who just like quickly installs and plays whatever when I feel like it. Like, I want to play this. Like, oh, I haven't played this in like 2 fucking years. Do I want to play this now? Like, yeah, I want to play this now. It's hard for me to keep because I get bored, if that makes sense. And it's like in a way which I just as of late I've just not been able to keep on a single game for a long time.
7 days.
Besides that, so if it's just something that's just I'm more likely to play a game if somebody else is playing with me. That's why I'm playing 7 days so much.
Yeah, we've been playing that too.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yep, that's me.
Nice. I started playing a little bit of Last of Us 2 again. I've just been kind of going through the encounters and killing people.
Mm.
It feels really good to kill people in that game. It just does. And apparently,
Did you
they
kill Abby
never-
multiple times?
No, I'm just killing like grunts. I haven't played as
Just
Abby.
kill
That's
Abby.
why
Just
why would I do
fucking
that?
murder her. She has
can't.
no reason to
You
leave.
can't do it. You can't murder Abby unless you play as Abby and lose on purpose. And that's not
Then
that
do
fun.
it. Then just
It's
commit
not-
suicide, just over and over again. Just out of
that enough
satisfaction.
I did that enough the first time I played. It was you know. It was alright.
Alright. Do it
Anyway.
one more time, just for good measure.
Yeah. But anyway, apparently, remember when they're supposed to have like the multiplayer about that game?
Mhm.
Remember when that was supposed to be a thing?
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, multiplayer come later," and like nothing has happened.
Thanks, Neil
So-
Druckmann.
I have no idea. But apparently, that's gonna be like a standalone thing, which I don't mind. Multiplayer in Last of Us 1 is great, and if it feels as good as killing people as it does in single player, I'm looking forward to it. But now I'm wondering, is it gonna be on PS5? You know?
PC.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's
I don't know.
trying to think of anything else I've done interesting. Did anyone watch Black Widow?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got it bounced. I have to be up at 5.
Good night.
I think we're near at the end of our episode anyway. So
Yeah.
Y'all take care. Bye.
All right, see ya.
Too bad. Have a good one.
do we have any more topics?
Let's see. The other topic that I'll bring up real quick is the Netflix. They also have the new Resident Evil show. I thought it was a movie, but it's a CGI show.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I like it so far. It's interesting because right now it's only one season, and the first season's like 4 episodes. So, and they're not really long episodes. They're maybe like less than 30 minutes. So,
Okay.
Oh damn.
yeah. That as Leon and Claire Redfield, they're in the show, but they're doing 2 separate things that in the grand scheme of things it's gonna arc together. But it seems pretty good. I was kind of curious how soon they're gonna bring out season 2 or whatever, since again season 1 was only 4 episodes and like you can easily binge watch it in like not even 2 hours. But the graphics look pretty good. It's kind of right up the lore of the Resident Evil. Curious. Oh, they said it was a bioweapon. They're not really doing like the Las Plagas or anything like that, at least not yet. But
Mm.
I'm liking it. this is something if you have time, check out. Like again, it's maybe 2 hours you can watch the whole thing. But that's another thing
Oh,
on Netflix.
so to change topics real quick, have y'all seen Loki yet?
No.
No.
Yeah,
I can't talk about it then.
I saw it.
What'd you think, man?
I mean,
Like, okay, not spoiling anything, but
when Alligator Loki was sitting on the throne at the end, I was like, "Whoa!
that was fucking
I
cool.
can't believe they're doing this."
Right. And then what he
I
did,
can't believe Alligator Loki is the one above all.
and that one other guy just, yeah, that was funny. But
Yeah,
let me ask you
that
this:
was
Did you
crazy.
see the finale?
Yeah, of course I watched fucking finale. Multiverse, dude.
No, fuck, man. Okay, well, so we can't say too much.
Multiverse. There's a movie called Multiverse of Madness coming out. We can
Not
fucking
about
say
that,
at
but
least.
the bad guy, the main bad guy. We can't say too much because
Listen, when Doctor Doom came out, I shat myself.
yes,
Violent diarrhea all over. No, it's not Doctor Doom.
dude,
That'd be silly.
it's not Doctor Doom, but holy shit, dude, that guy was so fucking sly.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
It was just like,
I mean, you know
the
what?
way-
Technically, we could say who it is, and it's still we have a bunch of names we can go through.
okay,
I can't believe Immortus was the bad guy.
yeah, I can't believe either. And we
That's
definitely know
actually
Thanos
that
not
is
the
one
bad
of
guy either.
no man, that is one of his names. His name's Immortus.
Yeah.
He goes by that in the comics. So we can call him that.
Also the well, no, technically to say this, it's not spoiling. He Who Remains.
Yeah, he remains.
And that was awesome because like it basically set up the next couple movies. Like literally,
Yeah.
it set up the next
Multi-
couple films.
Oh,
Like,
And it
do
makes you
whatever
wonder.
the fuck they want now.
if you want to say it, like I have no, not that I guess I really don't have any interest in it. So if you want to say who it is, I don't care. I'm not gonna probably see the show anytime soon. So,
Okay.
All right, we
Well,
can
then,
just spoil it.
Kane the Conqueror!
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, I am so excited. And he's supposed to be
Nathaniel Richards.
no shit. And the way it was executed with Sylvie and whatnot, like Jesus Christ, Sylvie, like, are you really gonna kick Loki out into?
Also,
Got
now
the
what does she
TVA?
have to do? She has nothing now. She killed them, and now she's has nothing
Did
left.
she kill her motivation or something
I
else
think
about to
so.
happen?
I
I
don't
know
know.
that Loki is supposed to be in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Is he?
Yes,
Interesting.
but
That one's gonna
also
be packed.
we know that season 2 is coming.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Obs, you might want to put a spoiler note on the video.
Yeah,
when it
well, I was
plays.
gonna say spoilers before you yelled at Kang the Conqueror, but
Yeah. I mean, just
never mind.
put a text note on there saying spoilers ahead. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
either
try
way.
to squeeze that in. I kind of wrote a timestamp, so I'll
Okay.
do something.
Anywho, also, man, I love how they could have Kang and eat it too, because like,
Yes.
it's Kang technically, but there's
Kang from
variants.
Ninja Turtles?
Yes,
No, that's
No,
Krang.
that's Crane. Kane is he's considered a mid-tier bad guy in the
I
grand
know,
scheme
right?
of
Isn't he
things.
like a little kind of? You know what? We can need a palate cleanse before Galactus.
Yeah, because Fantastic Four is coming, and it's only inevitable that we eventually see Galactus at some point.
There
I mean,
better be a fucking Galactus. I swear to God, and better not
it's
be a
not
cloud.
that not just that Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four one that was like years ago, and it was just a big
Cloud
giant fucking
Galactus.
cloud. Like, what the fuck is this? They did Alioth rather very fucking well. Like, that was amazing. By the way, did you on like last week's episode? Did you see that fucking Thanos copter?
Oh yeah, Thanos Copter was great.
That was awesome.
Frog Thor,
Yes, and then
Frog, and apparently
yes.
he was voiced by fucking the actual guy.
yeah.
That's
And then he
crazy.
had also the that one destroyer that just kind of popped out of nowhere, which unfortunately ripped to those guys for sure.
Yeah, everyone
Um,
dies.
Yeah, that made me sad. And then on top of that, the fucking who was it? Wasp, not Wasp. Yellow Jacket.
Oh yeah, the helmet.
Yeah,
giant
which
helmet?
means that version was thrown there for some reason. I guess he killed Ant-Man in his reality.
Amazing. Don't know.
And then Kid Loki actually killed, I guess, Kid
Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that was the classic Loki from the comic books, like the classic one, dude.
Yeah, that's
Like that
pretty
was
neat.
actually him, but apparently he just he made it a illusion so good that Thanos was convinced it was him.
Yeah, and he just drifted off in space debris.
And then he got lonely, and that's when
Yeah.
the TVA got him.
Yeah.
TVA, man. Fucking Ren Judge. Was it Ren Judge? What's her name?
Ren. Fucking
Renslayer.
something.
Renslayer.
Renslayer. Yeah, some weird shit.
She is a lover of one of the Kangs that are out there.
One of them.
Yeah.
Multiple. I don't
And
know.
now there's I saw,
Gangbang?
hey, I saw a a Easter egg video,
Yeah.
and it mentioned how it seemed like Miss Minutes was supposed to get her the information she was asking for,
It was Miss Minutes all along.
but Miss Minutes actually gave her something else,
Yeah,
and she said he will. This is much better. Like it's a plan to bring that particular Kane back, or something like that. Because even he says, "I'll see you soon."
Well, I mean, technically, that Kang will just come back eventually.
Right.
The other Kang hasn't even been born yet.
Yeah. But I think that's where Renslayer went, is to meet that particular Kang.
Possibly.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's fun. Time travel shenanigans will ensue.
And they
Maybe
did, dude.
This fucking Spider-Man movie will actually be what we want.
And on top of that, dude, in my opinion, they did better than Doctor Who. The Timey-wimey shit was done better on this show than it was done on Doctor Who.
I'm not a Doctor Who guy. I never really watched.
Well, I know someone who's out there is probably watching or listening, and I will say this. Fucking Marvel did Doctor Who better than Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah. Suck it, Doctor Who. Who are we talking about?
No.
Is it S?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Iron Sheik, he has a Twitter, and one of his tweets, he says, "Doctor Who gives a fuck."
Oh, that's based and who pilled, I guess.
All these giant rats.
Real quick, before I forget, still like on upcoming things. Yes, I know, like as briefly mentioned that they're making a Beast Wars movie.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Ron Perlman's gonna be Optimus Primal.
Yeah, so like, I don't know if it's gonna be CGI or not, but
I don't know. I don't
action?
know.
I don't know.
Why would there be any? Why would there be any live action of Beast Primal? Like, wouldn't that all be Terminators? Fucking Transformers?
Yeah, but like a complete cartoon CGI, but they're obviously
Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
I have some interest in that because it is Beast Wars.
That was a good show. I dug that. I remember watching that, getting out of school, and then watching that when it came out on TV.
Beast Wars.
Yes, with a little roar.
Yeah, roar. That show was, actually that was the first Transformers show that actually had any sorts of continuity. Like the original G1 series and everything before that, it was just a hodgepodge of just random episodes to push some toy.
Yeah.
But this was the first show that actually had continuity throughout the entire series, where the storyline and the story just fucking matters.
Yeah.
People love the G1, but it's like, dude, it wasn't G1 that made the series. It was Beast Wars that made it all workable.
I remember
Beast Wars.
The Beast Wars where Optimus Prime went to space and he was like in the little. He was supposed to escape out of the pod, but then Megatron sabotaged it, where he blew up in space. And
yeah,
we recorded that. That was back when the VCRs, with people that are too young for those. We recorded it. Then we saw like when it blew up and was flying towards the screen. We put it in slow motion, and in one of the frames, you actually see Optimus Prime's face, like a chunk of it, not like his head, but like his face got blown off, and like you just kind of see like in a frame or two. It's like, holy crap, that's crazy. So
we did it.
yeah, so that should be good. Bringing back some of the childhood. I think again, Michael Bay has his hand in this. Hope he doesn't fuck it up.
I heard Bumblebee wasn't bad.
I heard
I never
that.
watched it, but yeah, I heard it wasn't bad.
So, but again, I don't think Michael Bay held the reins too much in that one, but I don't know.
Well, he wasn't a director; he was a producer,
Yeah.
if anything. But producers only got like a small degree of control. So, I'm not worried about it.
We'll see. Either way, we'll probably definitely check it out. And yeah, Ron Perlman as Optimus Prime.
Oh fuck yeah, that has to be fucking great. Ron Perlman generally is a great voice actor. I mean, he was
Oh yeah, he was Slade.
yes, he was
Teen
also
Titans Show.
he was also the Lich from Adventure Time, and that was fucking fantastic. And then not to mention, War never changes from Fallout.
That was him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was him, man. It was the based fucking dude himself. So every time he says that in multiple series, whatever, except for Fallout 4 for some reason, but whatever. Anyways, but it was wonderful work. I'm sure he does other voices too, but those are the big ones to me.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got for today.
Yeah, I guess it'll be
Alrighty.
a good wrapping up point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see us out.
Cool.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for another wonderful Saturday. You've been joined here approximately by Valkyrie Grinder and Espionage TP7. They went off to do whatever they're going to do. And I've been joined here by me, myself, the one and only, the fantastic, tank rocking, oh so wonderfully glorious Purpose, Green Leaders of Sport. Joined here by the one and only, obviously 2003.
Yo.
And the ever so in need of a working computer to play games all day, all night, everywhere we go. But soon we'll be able to. Nickolas Zombie.
Hey, goodbye.
Goodbye. And peace.
Settle down, everyone.